So today, I thought would be a lot of fun to talk about and discuss is what's going on. This being the Catholic Gaming Insider is what's going on in the world of video games right now. Of course, what happened with Nintendo this week? Did you see what happened with that?
I did see. No, it was the mini direct. Is that what they called that? The mini direct?
It was Nintendo Direct Mini, which I didn't see what was so mini about it. 15 minutes.
That's pretty long.
I mean, you send me a 15-minute video, most times I'm going to close it. But I like that they they kind of spring it on people, kind of surprise people.
Yeah, well, I saw actually the day before that GameStop accidentally talked about it on Twitter,
Yeah.
but then they deleted that tweet.
Yeah.
So I think people the jig was up for a little bit.
Yeah.
What did you think overall of the of it?
Well, from what I saw, I thought it was interesting. Finally, Kirby. I'm, huge Kirby fan. Guilty. That's going to be on the Nintendo Switch very soon, and I'm glad we got kind of a general date for that. But what I thought was most interesting was how many different games are being ported to the Nintendo Switch.
That was
and migrated
interesting
over.
to me.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Now the Donkey Kong. Did you ever play that Donkey Kong? Because I did not.
You know what? I gave it a. I want if you want to hear a funny story.
I would love to.
When I got that game originally, Donkey Kong Tropic Thunder came out on the Wii U. I played it for the first time, and I remember having a lot of trouble and a lot of difficulty with how to. I couldn't really. What do you call it? Beat the levels. I couldn't really make it through, and I found myself frustrated. So I had my son Parker come in, and he was, we that's our thing is we're a Nintendo household. We play games together, and he came in and said, "Daddy, let me play Tropic Thunder, and I'll tell you what I think about it." Okay. And I left that night. I had things to write. I had to write the sermon for the next week, and when I came downstairs, I heard my son saying the most vulgar, absolutely sick, material.
He was.
Yeah, because you're hitting. There are these situations in the game that are borderline impossible.
Right, but I have to ask you, where did he even get these words from? Like my kids, I don't think when it came to swears, they wouldn't even know, because I shield them from all of that.
Exactly.
So that's concerning.
Exactly.
Anyways, I interrupted your story. I apologize.
No, but it's providence, and nothing is coincidence. Here's what happened.
Okay.
So I see him play it, and I think he was the old gorilla.
Cranky Kong.
The old gorilla. Yeah.
Cranky Kong?
Yeah.
I believe so.
And he's bouncing, bounce. Falls into a pit, and he says, and just to abbreviate,
okay,
GDF. And fill in your imagination, but
GDF.
And so obviously I tell him to stop, and we turn the system off and all that stuff. And I notice what else is on the system.
What?
Go through the applications.
Yeah.
Netflix, which is fine. We have a Netflix account, and we have it sectioned off into the there's a child account that you can have for your children. I don't think they filter it. I think they barely do anything with that, because it says children's shows. Okay, and what does it list? It's the Muppet thing.
Yeah.
Blue Clues. And I was so upset. I couldn't believe it.
I just,
let me finish. The next thing that I saw was
what did you see?
Maury Povich. Full seasons. Every season.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's on there, and it's how that got through the children's filter. And I think what it is honestly, like, there's this inclination to believe that because it airs during the day, it's children's programming. Right. I think that's how it got through, but Maury Povich was there. So I start to look at, okay, what was he watching? And you could see where it resumed from. You can see the little red bar where they stopped watching.
Right.
It's right in the middle of someone, are they the father? Yes.
Oh.
And it was, yes, they are. And it was unbleeped.
Unbleeped.
So you heard it from me first. This is not a joke. Maury Povich is uncut every season.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, and
that's why
easily watched it.
I really hope that you called Netflix and canceled that second. That's what I
yeah, well,
done.
I did.
I don't have Netflix.
But the reason I'm bringing this up, what it goes back to is I'm so happy Netflix did not come to the new Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch. I'm glad that there's no Netflix on that because the whole thing was a mess, and we're really the whole thing. Wow. I can have my kids play Nintendo again. You know, right. I feel a little safer about it. But
right.
Anyway,
back to the game. Yeah. Being frustrating.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that I went off on that tangent.
No, not only is it gaming, but I think we also should, real life family stuff. That's what people want to hear. Yeah. And
this is real. Yeah, this is real.
And not
real,
everyone. Yeah. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
We've all sinned.
Yep.
And I think that Parker, hopefully learned some lessons.
We taught.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
And we'll talk a little bit more about sin a little bit later. And we're always trying to balance what the gaming versus the word. But I just want to say it is of him. It is of him that the word is spoken, and it is beneath him that the word is laid. And between the two is the world's between, and that's the famous quote. That's what I always like to tell people. Whenever someone's sick and cancer, the whole thing. Okay, so so they showed Donkey Kong Tropic Thunder, and then what I was honestly surprised too is this is the third time that Zelda Hyrule Warriors is coming to another system, which I just feel like has had its time. It's kind of like how many times can we put this out? Yeah, a little bit. But then I also look at it as not many people had the Wii U, the original system it was on.
Right.
And so this is kind of an opportunity. I really think you could probably re-release any of the games on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And at this point, and people would cherish it because not many people had the original. So
I agree with you. The only problem with the Switch that I like the Wii U better is just the multiplayer, and it's just a real pain. It's a real pain to get more than 2 controllers going.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're planning on doing for that.
Yeah.
But that's a problem.
Yeah.
The big announcement that I saw, the final thing was Dark Souls. Which
Souls.
I mean, goes without saying that's not going to be played.
No. No, I'm not gonna.
I should mention it so everyone else knows what's out there and what their kids may want to play. But I guarantee you see the title Dark Souls, you're not going to let your kid play that.
Yeah, I want to talk about. We were at TaioCon last week in Arizona, which is a whole thing, separate story because the whole a lot of the panels there were I'm not going to get into it. They were secular panels, but I saw one guy there. He's a cosplayer, and I was so excited to talk to him because I am a Monty Python nut. Like everyone watching this, if you've ever seen me, if you ever seen me say I'm a Monty Python nut, it's because I mean it.
Because he's serious.
So, so I see this guy dressed as a knight, and I said, it is a flesh wound.
You said that.
And he just kind of gave me one of these.
He was stunned.
He didn't say anything.
Did he see the movie? Have you seen it?
Well, that's kind of the twist of the story. Don't step on the punchline.
I'm sorry.
But no.
No.
It was this Dark Souls thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was a knight from Monty Python.
And he wasn't.
No, it was a whole.
What?
Yeah, so that was just kind of a weird. I tried to talk to him, and it was like speaking another language.
Oh, that's disappointing because you think you're on the same level and wavelength with somebody else, and then they're playing that game, and not only that, but then they're gonna cosplay as that game, which you're just taking the devil's form right there.
Yeah.
You're just putting on his skin and walking around proudly.
Well, it's kind of what you talk about with false idols and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I'm kind of always talking to you about, at the Christian Gaming Insider.
Yeah.
Is kind of how you practice is fundamentally wrong, and the thing at your core, a lot of the things are false. But we still try to show respect, and that's what it's all about, is meeting in the middle and trying to find the common ground. And I'm talking to night at this event, and he just stands there like I'm crazy, and the whole thing is really upsetting and sad, and sometimes I think about all those children.
Who?
The invisible children.
Oh, yeah. No, well, you have to think about them.
And I think, who's thinking of them?
You are.
I guess, it's something to really consider. Am I the only one? Am I the only one?
Well, I sure hope not.